Hello again, fishing friends, and you join me again for another live match, and this time it's on RiverFest. So behind me we've got the River Thames, and this is actually the peg that I fished on the day. We have quite a good match actually, but I won't give too much away about what I catch and how I do it. I've got two other campaigns coming this winter. First one is my silverfish campaign. I fished my first qualifier at Abingdon. Had a lovely match actually, caught plenty of fish, but we'll see how we get on with that one. And the second campaign is the Angling Trust Winter League at Castle Ashby. Also fished the first round there, had an even better match on that one. So yeah, two more videos in the bag that are coming your way, but without much further said, we'll go back to RiverFest Qualifier and see how we got on. So, day 2 of the RiverFest Marathon, and I am on an end peg actually, end peg at Cullen, let's say that, nearest to Abingdon upstream. Been told it's maybe roach and that a few bream will probably have a chew to my left, but bright conditions might mean that right mate, might mean that they may not, but we shall see. Yeah, pretty simple. What have I got? I've got 4 pole rigs, 2 gram flat float, but the Colmic one that you can fish straight, the big up for worm, 1.5 gram rig for sort of bossing it a little bit with a 16 and all of it, and then 2 lighter rigs, 1.25 Gloucester with like a 16 for maybe a little bit of dendra, probably casters, stuff like that, and then a gram rig with an 18 for double pinky maggot baits like that. That's a little pencil, that one as well, nice and thin. There's a little bit of flow on it, not loads, but yeah, about it really. 10 minutes to the all in. Got a feeder rod set up as well for the far side. Just on a little helicopter rig. We'll see what it's like over there. It looks quite busy. There's already been a few people in the water over that far side. And then yeah, I've got all bagler set up at the 10, 11, 12 foot that I've got as well, just in case. Maybe fishing past. We shall see. But yeah, that's pretty much me. Fingers crossed I have a better day than yesterday. Hopefully a few roach. I'd like that. I've also buggered my back yesterday pushing that trolley and shipping up high. So yeah, if you hear me grumbling all day, that'll be why. Montana. To Montana. I think I'm near enough there, baby. Don't throw that boy. Jump. I like that time, fella, don't you? Go on then. Colin! So yeah, plan off the start was to just bait drop in some worms short. Unfortunately, it opened pretty badly, and as you can see, I end up just cupping some worms in a little bit of ground bait and soil down there. Was quite a dicey corner, so I think ground bait was the worst thing to be going in there. And then out long, decided to ship out my balls, mainly just to keep some accuracy. You can see I'm still plopping them in to make a little bit of noise, hopefully drawing some roach. You can hear overhead it's quite a busy day. There's planes boats, no trains, but yeah, lots of activity on the river throughout the day, unfortunately. And yeah, decided to start short over that worm, just to see what's there more than anything else. You can see the float through the rod and the landing net there. Little knock. We're away. As soon as I hooked this fish, I thought, "Ooh, that's going to be a perch." Then I wasn't quite sure what stamp. Quite deep on this inside line. I probably have had about 10-ish foot, something like that. Maybe 8. Somewhere between 8 and 10. He didn't really go for it big time. He sort of splashed about quite a lot. And that's him. What a start. I remember thinking at the time that, you know, if there's one that size there early doors, maybe there might be a few more, but you never know on a river like the Thames. That could be, you can see I'm impressed. Could be one of many or the only one. Plop him in the old keep net. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I'm on the light rig at the minute, which is just a small 1.25 Gloucester. I show all the rigs at the end, but wasn't a huge amount of flow. And then yeah, followed the perch with a few nice dace. Try to find my disgorger. It is on my right hand side. Always the way, isn't it? Always have one pull out. Straight back out though, didn't tangle. Got another iffy swinger. A nice dace, 3-4 ouncer. And a really good start coming. There was the odd bleak in between, so we'll speed it up. Just taking it on the way down, these were, unfortunately. The odd little roach mixed in with them. But just putting a good amount of, that was a dace that time, good amount of weight in the net. I tried a little bit of worm. I've been catching on maggot, but I thought if there's a few perch about, it will keep them small fish at bay. You can just see the float there. Wallop. And rewarded with a 3-4 ounce chunky perch. Fortunately, decides to drop off between the foot plate, swing the rig back out, and plop him in. I'm just peering down to the next peg. Jason Jeans is on it.
Perch.
And I can hear him splashing.
Perch.
Was indeed a perch, it was about £2. And once I realise there's maybe a few more perch about, I want to try and drag them upstream, so more worm goes in the ground bait again. There's a theme actually when I did put ground bait in, small fish followed.
think the particles in the water just got them quite excited on the day. Still building a nice weight. Alternating between maggots and worms here, just to keep bites coming. Another nice bite and a proper amount of elastic out of the pole. I think I was on 6 to 10 at this point in time. Quite pingy as well, so I could turn him around nice and quick. Up to the top and splash it again. Might get him early doors. He flapped around a bit more, but eventually mine. Not quite as big as the first one. Probably pound that fish. But then next bung, wallop. Even more laggy out. Trying to keep the pole nice and I'd apply plenty of pressure. I was on a decent hook at this point once I'd had a perch as well. I think I was on a 14. So yeah, just leaning into it, making sure he can't get too close to the bottom. Away well this one. Digging down to my left. There wasn't any huge snags that I found on the inside when I was having a plumb up, so I was relatively confident I could fish not too heavy. Keep some of the small fish coming as well. Now he's ours.
Yeah.
Jason just asked me if I've got perch. See, I've flipped my cap around by now as well because that sun was getting up and starting to burn the back of my head a little. Yeah, another nice perch. That one probably £1.5. So, you know, probably nearly an hour in at this point. Probably got nearly £5. So happy days. Brilliant start. And I think to myself, I'll repeat that. Back out with a bit more feed. See if we can draw in a few more. I'd have a quick look long on a worm as well, just in case there was a fish. I'd fed some worm long. But alas, there were no signs on it, unfortunately. I had about 4 or 5 run-throughs and gave up. Back on the inside to see if anything had settled on that ball. Put an extra section at this point as well, just to trot it down the swim a bit further, explore a bit more. As you can see, the boat traffic starting to pick up as well. But yeah, nice run of dace down there. Another solid fish. It starts motoring actually. The first one that really kicks out. And so I followed him, to be honest, yeah. Probably could have stood and held my ground, but means you can keep more over the top of them, doesn't it, if you ship out a bit pole. You almost want the pressure to be directly up on these proper perch. Keeps them out of any tree branches or weed that's growing on the bottom. Fortunately, this one sort of digs around to the right hand side a little bit. I think he knows about that tree you can see on my right. I had half a mind to try and get in there, I think he did. But we've got him. Another reasonable stripey, probably 12 ounces, pounds, something like that.
Hello. How we doing?
And my missus came down.
Did you leave Luna?
Yeah, she's not here.
Catch a little perch.
How you getting on?
Yeah, okay.
It's not good for you. Oh gosh, are you filming?
Mm-hmm.
And I just stood in front of it.
Yeah. Apparently they'll catch some bream further down to the left, but
What, where I've come from?
yeah.
Yeah, it's about 10 down there. You're coming on.
So yeah, Jane's relatively new to fishing.
Where's your keep net? Down there. I was nearly going to bring a chair.
You should have.
But then I thought, I won't say too about the
I was quite happy that this close line was still producing, to be honest. Probably 90 minutes in now, nearly 2 hours in. I'm still picking up odd fish. What I thought is I'd have a quick chuck on the tip, because Jane had brought a nice fresh drink and some sun cream for me down, which was nice of her. Just paying out a little more line there. Cast probably 15 foot short of the trees and added that extra bit of line if I wanted a second cast. Clipped it up. But nothing on it. Sun cream on, refeed on the pole.
Really sorry to interrupt the video, guys, but please subscribe and like, and don't forget to put a little comment down there as well. I read them all and I reply to plenty as well. Back to them clips.
I wasn't sure I was seeing. I thought, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a big fishing match today.
Quite a few walkers down there on the day.
Yeah,
Babe, do you want me to move your bag? Is it right there?
that's all right. It's just a bit of a pre-warning.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'd put a couple of pole roller bags down, just to show people that my pole could be coming out. And yeah, after a little bit more chat with Jane, she carried on her way and left me to the roach, which had settled over that new ground bait ball. And yeah, I got after it, to be honest with you. There's a few bleak mixed in there as well. Started on maggot but quickly switched over the caster because it meant a few more roach kept coming. Mainly sort of 2 ounce fish, 3 ounce fish. Just on a 1.5 gram kerry at this point in time. Just pulling out the elastic there out the side to reset it. That's a better one, 4 ounce probably that one. But yeah, I found that dropping the rig quite straight was definitely the best on the day. Got it through the bleak. Well, most of the time anyway. Get the odd hold up here and there. Proper on that one, I have a 4-ouncer. At this point in time I'm starting to think about hemp. Obviously the little fish were being a bit of a nuisance, the bleak and the smaller roach, so I'd half had an idea about hemp. Obviously every time you miss one on the caster you've got to ship in, ship back out again. But yeah, some nice fish now, 3 ounces. Yeah, I actually am across on a hemp rig now. Just slightly shorter lash actually. Just to try and make sure I can hit the lightning fast hemp bites. It's a little 1 gram AS pencil on here. Just a nice slim profile again to try and for as little resistance as possible. And that one I really probably should have netted, but swung it round to the side of the keep net, pulled him up. The number 6 on this top kit was probably set a little looser as well, so but yeah, bites were taking longer on the hemp, but definitely a better quality fish. Missing a fair few bites as you do on the hemp as well, but yeah, mostly good stamp. Obviously the odd one coming off. But yeah, after a while I had to switch back. Bites started drying up on the hemp and felt like I was wasting some time. But yeah, as you can see, after switching I wasn't impressed with the stamp. I think that was a little bleak that held that one up. But back on caster on this 1.5 gram Kerry. Had a 16 Hayabusa hook on this actually. I think I had it on both rigs. I got on the hemp rig as well, 16 Hayabusa in the little black version. Hayabusa 128 is a lovely hook for roach, and when you're after mixed species, it's good hook. It's got a good gauge on it. Not going to bend it out swinging in any of these roach or have any problems if I catch a bonus perch. Quick try back on the hemp rig after a few more faffy little ones. But yeah, at this point, Jason had started catching roach nicely as well. We were both catching roach on our long lines, Jason a little bit further out at 14.5 metres. I'm getting frustrated with missed bites. You can see me looking at Jason, starting to up his catch rate a little bit. And it was at this point when I'd sort of started to clock that I could only really feed hemp any amount of caster, and it'd seem I'd get a load, another fish on, a load of small fish in the swim. bleak and small roach, so yeah, the hempen caster mix soon got ditched off and I went to pure hemp feeding. Wish I'd figured it out a little bit sooner actually, because it was definitely an edge. And then I'd put the caster through the ground bait when I topped up. Really rich balls, and it would drag these quality roach in. It's probably another 3-4 ounce of that one. Just lower in the rigging again. The good thing about hemp as well is it's quite dense bait, isn't it? It doesn't push too many fish downstream. And with Jason catching well, didn't want too much bait drifting towards him.
Go on, Cooper. Cooper, out.
Wildlife paying a visit. And yeah, back on the Kerry rig and started to get into a good rhythm, to be honest. Gone on to some bagging elastic by now as well. I was on a solid 8 at this point in time, so not too much of that coming out, makes it a bit easier to swing fish. Strike into them a bit cleaner in that deeper water as well. Bit of a smaller one there. But yeah, that was definitely the theme on the cast. It was a slightly smaller stamp of fish than the hemp, but much more consistent bites. And I actually wish on the day I hadn't played around fishing hemp as much. Definitely cost me some weight. Spent too long on it. And there's Mr. Pike. I sensed he was in and around the swim for quite a bit of the day. It'd fish really well for like 20 minutes, half hour, then you get a really quiet spell, and I do what I do here, which is put a ball in, splash it in, try and make a bit of noise, potentially spook that pike out of the swim. Also try and build the roach's confidence that are there. So yeah, a couple ground bait balls this time, bit of a gamble. In my head as well, I'm thinking I'll probably need 20 pound of fish, so chopped up a few more worms, put them in short as well, see if I could draw some more perch in down there. Just reaching with that cup kit because it was just putting it down the shelf a little bit with a little reach. A small fish after ground bait, which was the common theme of the day. Had to wade through them a little bit, but you definitely need to keep putting it in because I need to keep drawing them better fish back in and pulling them up away from Jason a little bit. I could see by this point we were almost level. Jason had a good run on a whip catching some bleak, and had really started to motor on his long line, catching some proper stamp fish. That's a dace, that one. 3-4 ouncer. Right down the bottom of the swim. Kept it quite tight on the day. Certainly got a lot of my bites just after the settle. Probably could have fished a slightly heavier float in hindsight. Bit of a slow-mo. See that one down? Yeah, in hindsight, a 2 or even a 2.5 gram rig might have bombed me through the smaller ones like that one a bit better, but hard to say, isn't it? sometimes then your presentation isn't right and you don't pick up the bigger roach as well, but I'd like to have had one to try actually. I had a 2 gram lollipop, but wouldn't have been right for these fish. Another dace, 3 ouncer. So yeah, carried on nicely. Moving into last sort of 90 minutes of the match. Stamp shrank a little bit at this point after them 2 balls, but that was to be expected at first. A quick look down the inside on a bit of worm, just in case there was a perch there. Felt like I might need a bit of a boost of weight at this point in time. Nothing doing, unfortunately, so again in hindsight a bit of wasted time there, but thought I needed to get to £20 to be honest. I knew I wasn't getting there just on the roach, so take the odd gamble here and there. As you can see, the boat traffic's getting more and more severe as the day wears on. There are actually speedboats that had ploughed past probably 15 minutes earlier. Don't think it was helping, but that one is a proper one. And 3 ouncer. Probably 4 ounce of that one. And to be honest, you have seen most of the fish from the day in this video. As you can tell, I've not caught, you know, loads and loads and loads of fish, but the quality's been decent, so at this point in my head I'm already sort of struggling to keep track of what I think I've got, but certainly wasn't short of bites, it was just me trying to pick out the right fish, to be honest. A few of the boats did start venturing in a bit too close for my liking, but we had about an hour to go at this point. I thought, right, may as well give it one last ball. It had just recently slowed down. Onto my mark, give it a plop, try and pull some of them fish back up again. Not impressed at that one coming off. Didn't lose many during the day, but the odd fish here and there. You're always going to when you're trying to ship them in relatively quick. Obviously I know Mr. Pike's about and I don't want to play around too much. Another last 3 ouncer. That was that. One last roach, probably 3 ouncer.
Well, that was quite a nice day, wasn't it, eh? I think must have £6 a perch, which I had in the first hour and a quarter, and then probably £8 a roach, maybe less, maybe only 7. £13–14 I would think. We should figure out the roach a bit quicker. But hey ho, what can you do? How do you get on?
Jason Jeans has wandered up from next peg.
Them roach were hard, weren't they? I'd see you start clattering them, I'd be like, oh Christ, I can't get a bite for whatever reason, or you'd be catching them bleak. A pike was the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've had him in the swim 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you see bubbles coming up, don't there? But, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, same. You'd refeed and you'd get loads of fish in your peg, wouldn't you? But you'd get loads of bleak, wouldn't
Up
you?
in the water, yeah.
Jesus Christ. And
thought-
as soon as you loose fed anything but hemp,
Yeah.
just
Just.
bleak city, wasn't it?
I bleaked it earlier. There was boiling. And,
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I could hear you. You'd get the odd 2-3 ounces and it'd like thrash through the water. I had to stand up and have a look and see what you were up to. I was like, he's catching well. What have you got? 4 pound of bleak? Not that many.
I don't know. I've got 2 perch. I've got 1 decent one.
Yeah.
1 smaller one.
Yeah, I've got 2 like 2-3 pounders and a couple pounders.
Okay. Happy
So that's been a nice like
yeah.
first 90 minutes. Just spent it fishing for perch. To be honest with you. I was like, well, they keep ticking over at this rate. You know they're going to run out, don't you? But
Yeah.
whilst they're there. But yeah, lovely day. So much better than yesterday. Good lord.
I never went yesterday.
You didn't miss much.
That's for sure. There's some more last weekend starting with the rest.
Yeah, this is the right anecdote to Evesham, this is. Yeah. But yeah, playing around with rigs on the inside. I had a few on the 1.25 Gloucester. And then I put the lollipop in as well with a few bigger bits of worm. And that's worked quite well.
Had a 1.5 kerry on the long line. That's been the best float by miles on the long line. That's what I've had on the short line. On the lighter rig, when I was fishing maggot, first sprung on maggot it was, wasn't it? And then I've had one of them 2 gram lollipop there. That's pretty much been my 3 rigs. I did fish a 1 gram pencil on hemp for a bit. Wasted too much time on that. Fished that for certainly 15 minutes too long, trying to force it. It was worth a go, I think, just in case. 'Cause I was plagued by little stuff at that point in time, but best bait was a single caster by a million miles. Maggots you just caught bleak. If you fed anything but hemp you just caught bleak as well. So yeah, good day all in all. Just said up there that only 1 bream had been caught earlier, but we'll see. I'm not expecting to go through.
I know Cam had it once in Ireland. He was admitting to like 20 kilo,
Which means he'd got 40.
and all he had was left was 1 great big bream. I couldn't fit through it. 1 6-pound bream sat in there.
Just chatting with Matt Derry about pike attack and keep nets whilst we're waiting for the weigh team. Little joke about Cam Hughes and his underestimations.
There's still 2 rings in the water, look.
Yeah. I've 3 or 5 in second year. What can you do, my kids? Okay. Yeah, Judge. Oh, right. 13, 13. Right. Oh, something different, eh? I couldn't catch anyone first.
This is going to work.
Yeah, well, no, it's cool close.
Yeah. Start the van up. Well done, Jace.
Not too bad.
13-1. Lovely stuff. Thanks, gents.
You've got 2 13 ones we got.
Oh, yeah, 13, that's all, isn't it?
That was it. Nice perch, mate.
Down, mate. Is it 13 or 12, 13 next door?
13. Yeah, because he beat the other lad by 2 ounce.
Oh, right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had 13, 13.
That's why we double checked
Got
it,
it.
to be fair, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, inside 13, 12, yeah. No, I just
Yeah.
got one in my head. Lovely.
More perch.
Yeah.
So, thanks, gents.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Down, gents.
So yeah, as you can see guys from the weighboard, an incredibly close qualifier, and a huge congratulations to Jason on qualifying off the Thames. He went on actually to place in the RiverFest final as well, drew that barbel peg, which I will be looking for next year. As I said in the video, I think I probably wasted a little bit too much time on their hemp, but in my head I was fishing for £20. There'd been some bream out in the matches running up to the qualifier, and I felt like I was fishing for a little bit more weight than what actually ended up qualifying, but that's hindsight for you. As I've also said, 2 more campaigns coming up this winter. First one being Silverfish qualifiers, and the second one being my winter league at Castle Ashby. So stay tuned for plenty more live matches this winter.